Hi there folks, and welcome back to Max Bivvy. I'm in the wee wood that I favour. It's not far from the home, just saw a squirrel running by. I'm not camping today. As you know, I wasn't well a couple of weeks back, so it'll be a couple of weeks before I'm out again. And even then I'll take it a wee bit easy. But today I've got a new toy. I've bought a Trangia. And this video is going to be called a Trangia on steroids, because I'm going to beef it up. As you all know, I've spoke out against using methylated spirits. The reason being, when I was a kid and went camping back in the 60s, we tried methylated spirits and the cookers were rubbish, absolutely rubbish. We got them out of Woolworths for 72.5 pence in new money. It was a lot of money then, but they were useless, so I've steered away from them. And there was horror stories from all my mates. Anyway, I was camped out about a month or so ago, and there's these kids on the Duke of Edinburgh Award, and the instructor was showing them how to use a Trangia, because the school that they were from had bought loads of these bits of kit. It was the gas ones, but I'm traditional as always. I'll have methylated spirits. Anyway, I was quite impressed in a lot of things. So I decided to research it. I did a lot of research on the internet and watched a lot of videos on YouTube. A lot of good videos. Some of them the guys should have had a wee practice before they opened the box. Open the box. What's in the box? A Trangia. So anyway, in the end I decided to buy a Trangia 27/5 and I'm going to put it on steroids. Kent Survival did a good video and it showed you a wee kit that he had added and strapped to the top. I've went along that lines and I've made a kit as well. What it means is everything you need for cooking, messing as we used to call it, you know, eating, drinking, anything to do with food and drink is in this pack. And there it is. That's a lot. So what we're going to do is, first of all, I'll do the adaptations I've done to the Trangia. Then we'll do what's in the bag, the add-ons. It's turned the Trangia right around, and to me I'm quite happy going camping with this thing. It's fantastic, everything's in there. And I'll go over the do's and don'ts with it as I put it together. Okay, there it is. That goes down there. Right, I'll tell you what, we're not going to light it, I'm just going to show you it going up. I'll do a cooking video in a week or so. Now, I'll just leave it there, I'll tilt the camera to a better angle, and then we'll get started. Okay? Okay, here we go. A Trangia on steroids. The first adaptation that you see on there is, that's a plate. It's a Trangia plate. Lovely. We'll come back to that when we do the other bit. And let's strip it down. As you can see, this is the non-stick version. That's a frying pan. That's an adaptation. That's it, the holder. A wee adaptation. Let's get the kettle out. Get the pots out. And the windshield. We'll need that for part of the demonstration. Okay, I'm not going to take this out because we're not running it. The first thing that comes to mind is the stability. Look at that. Yeah, that's what you want with a stove. You're trying to cook outside and you're scared it's going to cowpower. That's just unacceptable. This is the way to go. Nice and strong. It's not going to camp anywhere. It's not going to tip over at all. Right. Let's get the burner out. I'll just put that down there now. As you know, that's the snuffer they call it, I think. It's for burning it, for turning it down. Right, that goes in there. You light it, and then you put that on. Now again, that's going nowhere. Pots, when these are turned in, are turned out, you can put a frying pan on top. Now again, look how solid that is. Okay, and then if you're going to do any heavy work, you can put the gripper on. That's a great bit of kit. I've saw people using these on other stoves. Now, if you're going to use the pots, which there's two off, they're both the same size, and just go like that. Look at that. Again, solid, there's no wind can get in there. What more do you want for cooking? Great. And I've opted for a kettle. Yeah, sits in there, just nice. Again, windproof, stable. Right, let's get it out. Ting. And when it's time to put the snuffer on, I've done it. The snuffer is there. You can put different flame coming through. Well, first adaptation I'm going to show you, it's a magnet. It goes there. Now, the reason is, try to put a snuffer on, there's a flame shooting up there, and it's a good one. It's a brilliant flame. It's, look at that. Can you get it on right? What you do is you take some in metal. Look at that. Brilliant. And lifting it off. Brilliant. Easy as that. And that's my first adaptation. Right, let's take it down. Out with the burner. There's an O-ring in there. There is a wee bit meths in there, but I wouldn't put a lot in, but that's what was left. You ever tried to pour meths back into a bottle? It goes everywhere. Anyway, that's that on. Is that leaking? That goes on. I'll just make doubly sure. Yeah, it's okay. Put the snuffer on. This is what I like about Trangia. They admit there could be a problem. So what they do is they give you these bags. You can actually buy these bags. And that goes back in the kettle. Easy. Right, let's get it back together again. What I will say, these straps, they're not for the 27. They're for the bigger one, it's a 24 or 25 anyway, whatever. these straps, they're an adaptation as well. It's so I can get the steroids bit or all the crockery and that in the same unit. Okay, the windshield goes back in, these come out, that goes in, get out. The kettle goes in. Another adaptation, I've got lighters everywhere. Always have a lighter, you never know when one's going to go far. Okay, I'm putting a lighter in here, I've got one in my top pocket, and I've got a jet lighter in my other pocket, and I'll tell you, there's one in the car. Plenty of lighters. Stove's no good unless you got a lighter, because these piezo things are always bloody breaking. Well, for me they are. Right, fold that in. Now my next adaptation, we call it a chopping board. It's made by Trangia, sorry, but it also fits on the top of the bowls, and you can use it as a strainer. And that bit there, that's so you can still grip the bowl and tip it to use it as a strainer. Well thought out. That's a must have, I think. Put the lid back on. Or, sorry, the frying pan. Not bad wee frying pan actually. Now, with the kit, what I do is I have the plate. Now, Kent Survival, they had a plastic plate in that, and I had bother finding the right plate on the internet. So it goes into Trangia, and they've got this. It's a double use thing. You can use it as a dinner plate, or if you didn't, well, you didn't mark the ground by this, but on a cold day you can put the unit in there and work. Anyway, that's that. That's the Trangia with adaptations that I've done to that itself. Now what we'll do now is we'll go piff paff poof, disappear, and piff paff poof, appear. Yeah, baggy tricks. Now what do we have in here? I've just used a bag of something else, but no doubt Trangia probably sell a bag. I've been on their website, and the first thing I see is they've got an old Saab 96 car on their website. I used to have one of them. That was my boy's toy. Right, let's look at my toys. The first thing you see is a knife, fork, spoon set all together. This starts with a tin opener and bottle opener. Chaps, you need your bottle opener. Okay, it's not a great tin opener, but it'll do the job. Knife, fork, spoon, full size, excellent. Okay, normally I use a spork, but knife, fork, spoon, excellent. I used to have one of them when I was a kid. My uncle Tom brought it back for the war, and it had all the German markings on there. You got the swastika and the eagle and all that. It was a collector's piece. Some bugger pinched it. What do you expect? Anyway, that goes in the bag. Pair of tongs come in handy. I could have got weird ones. Spatula. That spatula will take up to, it's plasticky stuff. That'll take up to 260 degrees. So it's more than enough for anything we would want. What next? A cup. This is one of these fold out things. You get two sizes. 300ml, and me being me, I want 600ml because I like a big cup of tea. But that's just handy. It folds down, and in it the first thing I put is a rubbish bag. You always need a rubbish bag when you're camping, so there's one in the kit. It's a full bin bag. The next thing I put in is an openal knife, a number 7 with a lock. Probably one of the best knives you can get. The openal blade is excellent. Now what I'm going to tell you is never ever carry an openal number 7 in your pocket. You'll get busted by the police. In this country there's 2 bits of law you've got to remember about knives. You're not allowed to have one over 3 inches long in your pocket, and you're not allowed to have one with a lock, and that's a lock there. Now, it's okay to cover it in your kit like that because they can see what the use is, but don't put it in your pocket. If you want a pocket knife, an openal, that's street legal. You might still get an argument for it. That's one of the smaller openals, there's no lock on it, and it's less than 3 inches long. I carry that all the time, it's absolutely brilliant. It's the same blade, same excellent blade, the sharp and easy. To me, if you want a knife, openal all the way. You could even get a bigger openal in there if you wanted. Right, and the final items is a scrubber plus sponge. Some people would say that's a bit overkill, but I don't think so. And of course, this is one of these microfiber cloths, great for taking water off your bivvy and then everything else. You can't see buy these microfiber cloths, they're absolutely excellent. Anyway, that goes in there. Put the strap tight. That wee knife goes in my pocket. And then we'll put everything back together. Goes over. I'm getting old and jittery, I just can't get my hands to work right sometimes. It's a wee bit caught. Ah, there it is, I've got it through first. I got it through second time. Just tighten it down on that. And there's your kit again. Excellent. To round it off, that's the bag off the bigger Trangia. Just everything goes in that. Now, is there anything else that you would fit in there? Anything else you'd like to fit in there? On the Kent Survival, they were toying with putting some cooking oil in there. Well, that's what I use for my cooking oil. An Algene bottle, 200 odd mils in there, perfect. There's room. If you want to put it in there, there's room. What I wouldn't put in is one of these. The great bottle. That's an absolutely fantastic bit of kit. But it tells you to keep that bottle upright. And I don't like things sticking out like that because they might get hit. Yeah, you could get it in. But at a push, if I was putting meths in the kit, again I'd use an Algene bottle. That's 500 mils, so is that. And yes, you could get it in the kit. but it's a wee bit bulky. No, I wouldn't bother. Or will I? We'll see. Anyway, that is my kit. A Trangia on steroids. A Trangia on steroids. Look at that. Excellent. Everything in there that I need. Okay, what we're going to do next? Next week, I'm going to cook a meal on this. A simple meal that can be adapted. And we'll do that next week. I've been practicing on it. I've had some good meals. Okay folks, I'll see you on the next one. See you later.